In a sterile hospital room, a man in his late 30s sits rigidly, his gaze fixed on a plain manila envelope. His hands are clasped tightly, betraying a profound inner turmoil, though his face remains stoic. The envelope, starkly white on the small table, holds a fate he dreads, not for himself. He wasn't nervous about the result, he was nervous about her reaction, a silent, agonizing anticipation. In the stark hospital room, a man's gaze drifts, heavy with unspoken thoughts, to a woman sitting opposite him. The woman, serene and almost detached, holds an envelope, a faint, mysterious smile playing on her lips. A profound silence descends, thick with unspoken tension, as the man observes her with an almost imperceptible narrowing of his eyes. His eyes, sharp and intense, betray a complex mix of emotions as he scrutinizes the woman's composed demeanor. She opens the envelope with deliberate slowness, her movements poised and graceful, a hint of anticipation in her eyes. As the contents are revealed, her smile deepens, a silent, knowing gesture that fills the room with an unsettling calm. Warm light bathes a cozy apartment, echoing with the joyous laughter of friends gathered together. The man and his wife, surrounded by their loved ones, share smiles in the inviting glow. A friend, with a playful glint, points to a framed photograph of a toddler on the mantelpiece. A lighthearted question hangs in the air. "Bro, are you sure he looks like you?" The man offers a soft chuckle, his eyes momentarily distant as an unreadable expression flickers across his face. The playful moment is touched by a fleeting shadow, a hint of something deeper hidden within his gaze. In a dimly lit apartment, a man sits alone, his gaze fixed on a worn photograph. The photograph reveals a beautiful little boy with bright, innocent eyes, a tender memory frozen in time. He shakes his head, a silent battle against a nagging thought that refuses to dissipate. The seed of doubt, once planted, begins to sprout, its tendrils wrapping around his heart. A voice echoes. The comment stayed in his mind, not because he doubted her, but because doubt grows in silence, the voice concludes, leaving him in a shroud of introspection. In a sunlit kitchen, a man's eyes are glued to his phone, scrolling endlessly, a silent tension building within him. His wife moves about, humming a soft tune, utterly unconcerned as she prepares breakfast, a stark contrast to his anxiety. He watches her, a knot tightening in his stomach, the unspoken chasm between their states of mind growing wider. She wasn't worried, not even slightly, the narrative voice confirms, emphasizing her baffling calm. In the opulent living room, the man holds a manila envelope, his hands trembling with a palpable mixture of fear and anticipation. He slowly tears open the envelope, the sound ripping through the silence like a gunshot, revealing its unknown contents. The wife watches him, her face a mask of inscrutable calm, her eyes gleaming with an eerie, almost imperceptible smile. Her faint, chilling smile hints at a secret, a silent promise of what lies within the envelope as the man's fate unfolds. A man's eyes intently scan a document, the weight of a life-altering truth hanging in the silent air. A wave of profound relief washes over his face, a silent acknowledgement that the child is undeniably his. He looks up, expecting shared relief, perhaps even tears of joy, in his wife's eyes. Instead, her smile broadens slightly, a calm, knowing expression that holds no hint of emotion. Her gaze is not relief, not joy, but something unsettling, something entirely different. And that's when he knew something was terribly wrong, a chilling realization dawning in his mind. The man's face, once etched with relief, now contorts as a chilling realization dawns upon him. His eyes widen, a flicker of pure fear igniting within their depths. The true, sinister nature of her smile is laid bare, a horrifying truth he can no longer deny. The stark revelation hits him with the force of a physical blow. That's when it hit him. In the living room, a man slowly places a document onto the table, his eyes fixed on his wife. His wife watches him, her lips curved in a calm, almost triumphant smile. A heavy, suffocating silence descends upon the room, thick with unspoken tension. Her smile is not one of joy, but of a calculated victory that chills the air. She believes her secret is safe, her deception complete, her power absolute. The silence stretches, a testament to her chilling confidence and his dawning realization. The man slumps back, his posture deflating as a crushing realization washes over him. His eyes, wide with a dawning understanding, reflect the depth of his internal turmoil. A profound truth settles in his mind. This was never about the DNA. It was about something far more fundamental, a deeper betrayal. A somber voice echoes. It was about trust, sealing his profound despair. In the living room, the man's eyes bore into his wife, his posture rigid with an unspoken question. His wife's serene expression cracks, a fleeting, telling moment of hesitation. She asks, "Did I ever make you feel unsafe?" His voice a low, searching rumble. Her eyes dart away, a silent confession louder than any spoken word. In the living room, the woman finally speaks, her voice soft yet firm, filling the air with unspoken meaning. Her words, "I just didn't want you doubting me," hang heavy, a poignant confession. The man looks at her, his eyes reflecting a profound, heartbreaking sadness. The silence stretches, thick with regret and the weight of their shared history. A fragile moment unfolds, revealing the deep emotional chasm between them. In the dim living room, a man's mind races, replaying a sequence of events, his brow furrowed in deep thought. The memory of a casual joke echoes, seemingly innocent, yet now a source of torment. He recalls his initial dismissal, a fleeting moment of calm before the storm of doubt. A creeping insecurity takes hold, twisting his perception, making him question everything. Her emotional distance, a cold chasm, now fuels his spiraling suspicion. His inner voice whispers, "The test created the doubt. The joke created the insecurity." Her distance, suspicion. In the dimly lit apartment, a man sits alone, his gaze lost in the oppressive silence. Scattered toys, poignant reminders of a son's presence, lie untouched on the floor, a stark contrast to the quiet. The silence in the room is deafening, amplifying the man's profound solitude. A voice echoes. Sometimes the biggest damage isn't betrayal. In the silent apartment, a man's hand clenches into a tight, desperate fist, knuckles white with contained anguish. Slowly, agonizingly, his fingers unfurl, revealing the trembling vulnerability within. His face, etched with quiet devastation, betrays the profound emotional weight crushing his spirit. The air crackles with unspoken grief, a stark echo of the moment trust shatters. In the soft glow of a nightlight, the man stands silently in his son's bedroom doorway, a silent sentinel. The warm light bathes the sleeping boy, a picture of innocent peace, unaware of the chasm in his parents' lives. The man's gaze is fixed on his son, a profound sadness etched on his face, a silent testament to a fractured world. A deep chasm separates him from his wife, an invisible wall built brick by painful brick. Even though this child is theirs, a bond of love and shared creation, it cannot bridge the growing distance. Even though the child was his, something changed. The silent thought hangs heavy in the air. The man recedes from the doorway, a stark silhouette against the hallway's gentle glow. His form, a dark void, seems to absorb the light, deepening the shadows around him. He steps back, a silent retreat from the warmth he yearns for but cannot grasp. The soft light of the hallway now frames his isolation, a cruel irony. A profound loneliness washes over him, a chasm opening within his soul. He didn't feel closer. He felt further. In the dimly lit living room, a man and his wife sit in separate armchairs, an invisible chasm between them. The air crackles with unspoken words, an unresolved tension heavy and suffocating. He glances at her, his eyes holding a fleeting moment of pain and longing. His gaze drifts away, lost in the torment of a memory only he can see. He replays the peaceful, sleeping face of his son, a haunting image of what was lost. His voice, hushed and devoid of anger, carries a quiet resignation, a profound sadness echoing in the air. "I hope we can rebuild this," he murmurs, a plea laced with the weight of unspoken loss. Yet, his eyes betray the calm, revealing a deeper, knowing sorrow for what has been irrevocably lost. Though he speaks of rebuilding, a silent truth lingers. Trust, once shattered, can never sound quite the same again. The first blush of dawn paints the vast cityscape with ethereal oranges and purples, a silent, breathtaking spectacle. Towering skyscrapers stand like ancient sentinels, their cold shadows stretching across the slumbering streets below. A faint hum of distant traffic begins to stir, the city slowly awakening to a new day. The first whispers of life ripple through the urban expanse, a world indifferent to hidden sorrows. The sprawling city awakens, oblivious to the profound personal tragedy unfolding within its concrete heart. A voice echoes, "Sometimes you don't lose someone to another person, you lose them to a single moment of doubt."